you were a great influence. I mean, I thought I worked hard in the weight room until I saw you work hard in the weight room. And, and I got pretty strong. I always remember, too, which I was the great unveiling. Every year.
See, we never talked. They don't know about the unveiling. They don't know about that.
They don't know about the great unveiling.
Yeah.
So we'd work out 4 times a week, and Shannon was in there. We'd all get in there both at the same time, and obviously he was working with a different group than I was. But he would always wear these big baggy shirts and long sleeves, and so he'd just sit there and he'd work his tail off, and he'd just get like the Hulk. And so at the end of the off-season program every year. We called it the Great Unveiling, and that's when Shannon would take his shirt off and start flexing and show everything that he'd worked for the last 4 weeks. So that went on for my last 6 years. It was always, when's the Great Unveiling?
I wouldn't even shower with nobody, so they never saw. I was always long sleeve, always covered, and he was asking me. I even practiced like that. I always practice with long sleeve, and he's like, "Why do you do that?" I said, "It's unveiling. You guys top secret. You can't see until you see." And then it's like, damn. He's like, he should be like, what do you eat? Do you eat anything? Because, I brought my own food and everything. I was always diligent about what I ate. I didn't have any sauces, anything like that, because I felt, the work I put in the off season, I wasn't going to ruin it once I got back in season. So I stayed conscious of that.
Right.
But that was.
But the Great Unveiling. But getting back to the fact that, it was just a matter, added a little more fuel to the fire, and then, Dan got fired, and then Wade came in. There was kind of some excitement there. We went 8-8 the 2 years.
No, we went to the playoffs that first year.
Yeah, we played the Raiders back to back that one year. We went to L.A. home and then back to L.A.
Yes, if we'd have won that game, they'd have had to come here.
Correct.
They beat us, and I remember that game. We were cooking them. Me and you, we were cooking them. We got up to that great start, and that's the game. I think I needed 121 yards to get 1,000. And I was going to get $100,000. That was $100,000 was a lot of money back. It still is, but it was really, really, really a lot of money back then because considering I was only making like $300,000. And I remember I caught 6 for $115 and 2 touchdowns. And then I looked at the stat sheet and I had $995. And I was like, God dang. Because on the plane, we always sat across from each other.
Right.
So I'm sitting on this side in the aisle. You sitting on that side in the aisle. And you're like, T, besides we lost the game, what happened? I said, man, if I got 1,000 yards, I'd have got $100,000. I only needed 5 yards. And you looked at me, you said, don't ever let that happen again. I don't care if you need 25 yards. You tell me, I'll get you the ball. And then we go back out there the following week, you throw me 13 for $156. I said, I needed 13 for $156 last week. But what type of toll did that take on at home? Did that take a toll on home, losing like that? Knowing, and this is what I tell people, T. I say the harder you work for something, and when it doesn't come to fruition, the more it hurts.
Yeah.
I said, if you work for, I don't care what it is, if you work for something really hard, and when it doesn't pan out, it hurts like hell. Anybody that tells you it doesn't, they're not working hard enough, or it doesn't mean enough to them.
Exactly, and I think that, it does, the disappointment, and as you know, the older you get,
yes.
My dad always said, don't ever let winning be a relief and losing be a tragedy.
Oh,
right?
Yes.
And the older you get, that's kind of, that's when you're kind of getting close to the end, because now all of a sudden you really don't get the joy, because football's hard enough.
Yes.
That if you don't enjoy the victories as much as you hate the losses, it doesn't balance out. It gets lopsided and makes it that much tougher. Mm-hmm. But, I think that, and I had a thought right there on what you had just said as far as, working hard. The thing that I learned there, though, was, because I know going in those first 3 Super Bowls that I tried harder each time.
Right.
Right? And one thing I learned is the bigger the game, you gotta calm yourself down and relax yourself to where you're saying, okay, I'm going to go out and play the best game I've ever played. I got to play great. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do this. Which all it does is add more pressure to you. Just like going into Super Bowl 32. It's like, all right, don't think about the outcome.
Right.
Forget about the outcome. Take it one play at a time. Don't think about it. And don't watch TV. Stay out of all the hoopla. Right?
Yeah.
And just go play a football game.
Right.
And don't think about it being the Super Bowl or anything else to where you're not putting that much more pressure on you. Because by the time I got to San Francisco in that third one, I'm sitting there going, I'm going to have to win this by myself.
Right.
Right? Which is the worst thing you can do. And all I did, and I played terrible, right? Mm-hmm. So going into that Super Bowl 30, the Green Bay game was the fact that, okay, let's just go concentrate on one play. Don't even think about it, what it would feel like to be world champions. Right? Don't let that enter your mind. Go out and play a football game, and everything else will fall in line. And so that was kind of the, jumping ahead a little bit, but that's what my thought process was going into the Green Bay game. And, I played better there, and we were able to win the football game.
But it got so bad after those losses that you had to have, they had police behind it because you started getting death threats. I mean, they had police standing behind you just to make sure ain't nobody get you at the game.
Well, I mean, it's like in the first Super Bowl we lost, we had like 500,000 people at the parade, and the last one we lost, there was like 20,000 people.
But in the Green Bay, the one that we won, did you think we could lose? Because maybe it was just naivete, but I didn't think we could lose. I didn't think Green Bay could beat us.
I didn't either, especially with the game plan that we had. Right?
Yes.
And Mike and Gary did such a great job with that game plan. If you remember, we split you out the whole game.
Yes.
To get Leroy Butler out of the
box.
Because Leroy Butler was playing strong safety, and he would mess. You never knew where he was going to be. He'd mess up the running game. He'd mess everything up. And that's why I think Gary and Mike did such a fantastic job putting him outside. Plus, they knew how good they were in the secondary. They had two great corners, and Robinson at free safety, that they were that good that, we were going to have to run the football.
Right.
And by spreading everybody out, getting you out, getting Leroy Butler out of the box so he couldn't screw things up. And then TD just, went crazy for us. And
I often ask, I said, man, I wonder how many yards he would have had he not missed the entire second quarter.
Yeah.
Because he had 157 in 3 quarters.
Right.
He might have broke Timmy Smith's record.
No question. No question. Because he was, and that's the thing is, and I remember too, Green Bay put in the extra guy they put down was a D lineman.
Yes.
Right? and so our guys up front, Nalen, Schlereth, Zimmerman, Habib, and Tony Jones. I mean, they absolutely wore them out.
Did you get sacked that game? I don't think you got.
I don't think so. We didn't throw it. We threw it like 23, 24 times, right? But no, they just wore them out. I remember Gilbert Brown.
Big Gribbin on one knee. Oh, he go to the sideline. Look at it.
I know. I remember that game too. I remember late in the game, it's like we're going in to score our last touchdown.
Yes.
And Green Bay had called timeout. And I went to the sideline and I said, because we're on the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
So, and they had a couple timeouts left. So I went and I said, Mike, let me nosedive. Let me sneak it to the half yard line. Make them use another timeout because they're not going to stop us. Right? Mm-hmm. And then Coop said, I don't think we got to do that. We got to score the points. But, then that's when they
talk about, well, we let them score. Y'all hadn't stopped them all day.
I know. They did let us score. They all just they wanted the ball back.
They wanted the ball back because it just opened like, I was like, well, damn, we did a great job on that one. Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party because we like to do something before 2 something.